more or less like he's going to be in the Premier League next year, which is the golden egg for all the players.
Well, Lewis, at least he's left himself on a finish. But Taylor at the moment, just not being able to find the heavy scoring, which has been a feature of his performance, not just this week, but for the last 6 months. Now another one of those would make it interesting. Well, Taylor now under real pressure to take this out. Lewis on a possible 13-darter against the throw. The power has much to think about.
Yep, this is a must to hold his throw. Big 20 now. And straight in the middle of that tops. Wow.
So, a chance, a real chance here for Adrian Lewis to take the Taylor throw in the second leg of the match. 2 darts and a double, and he's banged them both in at the first time of asking. Yet only 2 legs gone, but who'd have thought? An average of 106 for one player and 85 for the other. And Taylor's the one who's averaging 85.
Yep, quite incredible. He's started slowly as Phil, but all credit to Lewis, he's kept him under pressure all the way down in both legs. This is normal service resumed. Absolutely clean as a whistle.
It hasn't taken him long, has it?
Great switch, great recovery. Needs that.
I think the pace of this will suit Lewis. Barneveld is the perfect player for Lewis to play. You know, the rhythm is exactly the same. And this will suit Lewis a lot more than the semi-final against Manly.
And like he previously mentioned, Raymond gets out of the way and lets him get straight on with it, straight back on the hockey. He can keep that rhythm, and we've said before, he's such a rhythm player.
With his cover shots on both the treble 19 and the treble 18 in his first 3 legs have been phenomenal. Now Taylor's hit a maximum in this leg, but he could well still find himself 3-0 down if Lewis carries on the way he started.
What, 6 darts at this, Stu? He just won a nice clean ton. He just dropped this one on that one. Oh dear, he won't be pleased with that.
Just flicked the flight of that second dart. He's given himself a great chance here to make it 3-0 against Phil Taylor. How often do we see Taylor, though, from 200 to 170, put pressure on the throw? Double 10, 2 for 2 on the doubles for Lewis. Now then, just off the barrel. Well, the wrong side. He aimed it for the barrel, unlucky.
Yeah, just went round the other side. 1-3-8 by Taylor. A quick break back. Tops. No problem.
And Lewis had his chance, didn't he?
Well, that treble 20, give him 2 darts and double 10. Really should be knocking them out. That's what he's got to do.
But what he can't now afford to do is to be standing behind Phil Taylor thinking it should be 3-0, because it isn't.
Have you been speaking to my psychiatrist? I'm not sure what's going on. Taylor's not really, you know, hit the stage running. Well, just what you said, Stu. I think that's stuck with him, that 80, and he's carried it on into leg 4.
Sometimes human nature, it must be so difficult. I mean, when you think he's made such a great start, and he'll know he should be 3-0 up. But he can't let it fester. Not when Taylor now is beginning to up the pace. What was it we said 2 minutes ago? That Taylor was averaging 85? Make that 100.5.
And that will rise. He's already got control of this leg. He did start. So Adrian will be thinking now. Few practice throws, win that 5th leg, get off that stage, cool down, but make sure you get off it 3-2 up.
It's all about the desire to take the standard even higher, to raise that bar so no one can touch him. And 125 now for Taylor for 2-all. Treble 20, of course, would leave double top. Well, just in the wrong bed, but no panic, no pressure, no worry, no problem. Lewis on 264.
Well, Taylor come back, treble 10. May opt for the ball. I've seen him use that route, ball double 8. Looks like he's going for the ball.
That was right in the middle. That was absolutely...
And that one.
Yeah, and so was that. It's terrific from Taylor. 2-0 down, could have been 3-0 down. All of a sudden it's 2-all. And worryingly for Lewis here, I've noticed in the last couple of legs, his first dart is now dipping underneath the treble. And that isn't a good sign.
Well, that's a mixture of two things. Either he's a little bit jaded, it's been a very, very long day, he's played a lot of darts, or it's a little bit of pressure, he's tensing up a little touch. But I mentioned it to Matt. Phil Taylor puts his darts in. You know, he actually places them in, and he aimed for the centre of that ball. And you could have put any kind of ruler around that, and that would have been in the bang in the middle.
Well, we talk about the desire, didn't we? You know, already big titles, 4th Premier League title back in April, Las Vegas Desert Classic, World Match Play, World Grand Prix. Taylor holds them all. South African Masters, US Open, Championship League darts, 13 or 14 titles on the PDC Pro Tour.
He's going to do the Grand Slam of all Grand Slams.
Well, 96. That was his aim when we thought he was in his pomp 3 or 4 years ago, and he never quite managed to do that. The only titles that Taylor doesn't hold at the moment, the UK Open, which James Wade won at Bolton in June, and the World Championship at the Alexandra Palace. Well, here he goes again, averaging now 104, 3 maximums in the last 3 legs.
Lewis responds, his first 180. Well, the bullseye route, we've just seen him hit it bang in the middle. Will this one be there? Not bad.
It'll do. Double 16 to break the Lewis throne. Fantastic from Taylor. An 11 darter. He was 2-0 down. Adrian Lewis misses 2 darts at double 10 to go 3-0 up on the genius that is Phil Taylor. And then Taylor smashes back with 3 brilliant legs of darts. Taylor leads in the final. 3-2. The first ever European Championship, and we've reached the final, and that is what it is all about, plus the little matter of £50,000. But for Philip Taylor, the desire to be on the trophy, the first name on the trophy for every new darts event that happens. You know, we saw it at Grand Slam last year, Championship League darts just a couple of weeks ago, now the European Championship. He wants to be number 1 on that trophy.
Absolutely. He's said it before, all the new tournaments we have, I think he's won every one of them. And a lovely trophy it is too, quite unusual.
Let me ask you, are we seeing Lewis this week here in Frankfurt, growing up as a man and as a darts player? And we all know he's had a well-publicised 2-month ban after a sort of contretemps on the hockey that he had with Kevin Painter back in April, wasn't it, at a tournament in Holland? But have you seen encouraging signs?
I just think it gave him a few months to reflect on where his career was going and what he actually wanted to achieve. And you know, I'm good friends with Adi, and we talk a lot, and we talk openly a lot. And you know, I think he's 25 now, and the next 5 years, you know, if he don't win in the next 5 years, he ain't going to win it at all. And he knows that.
Without wishing to hurt your feelings, I mean, you know exactly that, don't you?
Absolutely. I was hyped up similar to Adrian for many years, and came close on a few occasions, but for me it wasn't meant to be. And